When you're scrolling through used car listings in the US, some deals look too good to pass up. A sedan for under $5,000? A stylish compact that promises great gas mileage? It feels like a win. But here's the hard truth. Some cars look cheap on the lot but cost a fortune once they're in your driveway. Why does this happen? Sometimes it's fragile engines hiding under fuel-efficient badges. Sometimes it's transmissions designed to fail long before the 100,000-mile mark. And other times it's something as simple as parts scarcity. Repairs drag on for weeks while the bills climb higher and higher. We're about to break down 6 cars that lure you in with bargain prices but quietly bleed your wallet dry. These are the models American dealers lowball at trade-in, the ones mechanics groan about when they see roll into the bay, and the ones Carfax histories read like horror stories. So before you fall for that tempting, too cheap to be true used car deal, watch closely. Because one of these 6 cars might be waiting to turn your bargain into a nightmare. Number 6. Fiat 500. At first glance, the Fiat 500 looks like the perfect budget buy. Tiny footprint, fun styling, and prices so low you could almost put one on a credit card. But here's the catch. In America, this cute little bargain often transforms into a bottomless pit for your wallet. What goes wrong? Start with the electronics. Owners report dashboards that light up with warning symbols for no reason, power windows that randomly quit, and quirky sensors that seem allergic to lasting past 50,000 miles. Ever wondered what it feels like to drive with your check engine light permanently on? Many Fiat 500 drivers could tell you. Then there's the parts problem. Unlike Civics or Corollas, you won't find shelves of cheap spares at every US shop. Need a control module or alternator? It might have to be ordered from overseas. That means higher costs and longer waits. 2 things no one wants when their daily commuter is stranded. And the labor? Brutal. The 500's engine bay is so cramped that what should be a quick fix often turns into hours of knuckle-busting work. Shops don't hide their frustration. More time in the bay means higher bills for you, and suddenly that cheap city car costs as much to maintain as something twice its size. Scroll through owner forums and you'll see the same theme. Low purchase price followed by a long list of repairs. Car histories are littered with repeat visits for electrical faults, suspension issues, and premature transmission problems. Many drivers give up and sell at a loss, realizing too late that the true price of ownership is far higher than the sticker. The Fiat 500 may win style points, but in the US it's become a cautionary tale. Does saving money up front matter if you're constantly paying it back in repairs? For many owners, the answer was a painful no. And while this little import drains wallets through electronics and parts scarcity, the next car shows how even a homegrown American sedan can hide mechanical flaws so costly they wipe out any deal you thought you got. Number 5. Chevrolet Malibu 2.4 Ecotec. On the surface, the Chevrolet Malibu with the 2.4 Ecotec looks like a smart buy for American drivers. Spacious enough for families, affordable enough for students, and available on nearly every used lot across the country. Prices are often thousands less than rivals, which makes it tempting. But here's the uncomfortable question. If it's such a deal, why do so many of them sit unsold for months? The answer is what's hiding under that hood. The 2.4 Ecotec has built a reputation mechanics know all too well. Timing chains stretch far earlier than expected, leading to rough running and repair bills that sting. Head gaskets fail without warning, stranding owners in the middle of commutes. Overheating episodes are common, and oil consumption is so notorious that drivers joke about keeping a spare quart in the trunk, just in case. The costs add up quickly. A timing chain job runs $1,500 to $2,000. A head gasket failure? Another $2,000 or more. Throw in transmission problems that aren't unusual on these cars, and suddenly the cheap Malibu costs more to keep alive than it did to buy. Used car histories reflect the same theme. Thick stacks of service records for engine and cooling issues before the odometer even hits 6 figures. Dealers know the stigma, which is why trade-in offers are often insultingly low, sometimes just a step above scrap. Buyers who research quickly learn that the resale market for the Malibu has collapsed under the weight of its own flaws. What looked like an affordable way into a mid-size sedan often mutates into a money pit that families regret. It's the textbook example of cheap now, costly later. And while the Malibu drains wallets with fragile drivetrains, the next car takes disappointment to another level. because its transmission design is so fragile that many families never even made it to 70,000 miles before facing a repair bigger than the car itself. Number 4. Nissan Sentra. For years, the Nissan Sentra was pitched as the no-nonsense choice for American commuters and first-time buyers. Affordable payments, great gas mileage, and plenty of them on used lots. It looked like the safe, logical option. But have you noticed how many Sentras get traded in suspiciously early? That's because the one thing buyers counted on, the transmission, has turned into the Sentra's biggest liability. Nissan's CVT was supposed to be the future of efficiency. Instead, it became the reason so many Sentra owners regret their purchase. Instead of smooth shifts, drivers complain of shuddering, whining, and sudden loss of power. In too many cases, the transmission simply gives out before the car even hits 70,000 miles. Imagine planning your daily commute around the fear your car might slip into limp mode at the worst possible moment. And when it happens, the fix isn't cheap. A CVT replacement usually costs between $3,500 and $5,000, sometimes more than the car's worth. Worse, many new transmissions fail again, trapping owners in a cycle of repair and disappointment. Extended warranties and class action settlements tried to soften the blow, but for thousands of American families, the damage was already done. Look through used listings and you'll see the evidence. Sentras with multiple transmission replacements noted in their history, or low-mileage models priced far below rivals because dealers don't want the liability. Buyers in the know steer clear, leaving sellers to accept insulting trade-in offers. The Sentra shows how quickly cheap and practical can morph into expensive and stressful. And if a commuter sedan can wipe out savings like this, wait until you see what happens when a European compact lures Americans with sleek styling, only to hammer them with complex engines and electronics that cost more than the car's worth. Number 3. Volkswagen Jetta. At first glance, the Volkswagen Jetta with the 2.0T engine feels like the sweet spot for anyone who wants a taste of German style without German luxury prices. Sleek lines, turbocharged performance, and used listings that often look like bargains. It's no wonder so many Americans take a second look. But here's the truth. This so-called bargain can end up costing more than it's worth. The real grenade under the hood is the timing chain system. When that tensioner fails, it doesn't just stall the car, it can wipe out the entire engine in seconds. Imagine handing over $6,000 for a used Jetta only to get slapped with a $5,000 repair bill weeks later. That's not rare. It's practically the Jetta's signature move. Add failing high-pressure fuel pumps, turbochargers that cook themselves under heat, and carbon buildup that robs power, and suddenly your cheap German sedan is demanding luxury-level money just to survive. Electronics pile on the frustration. Infotainment systems freeze mid-drive, random warning lights flash without explanation, and control modules quit with no pattern. Diagnosing these gremlins often takes longer than fixing them, and at $120 plus an hour in US labor rates, guesswork gets expensive fast. Some owners have paid thousands just chasing electrical faults that never fully disappear. And resale? Dealers practically roll their eyes when one shows up. Trade-in values are bottom of the barrel because buyers know the history. Scroll through used listings and you'll see the proof. Multiple engine jobs and electrical repairs logged before 100,000 miles, scaring away anyone who does their homework. The Jetta proves that affordable German engineering comes with a nasty asterisk. The fine print is written in 4-digit repair bills. And if that sounds painful, wait until you see what happens when a bargain bin midsize from Detroit tempts drivers with low prices, but punishes them with fragile drivetrains and suspension that simply wasn't built to last. Number 2. Dodge Avenger. Scroll through US used car listings and you'll find Dodge Avengers scattered everywhere, usually with prices so low you wonder if the dealer accidentally left a zero off. $2,000 for a mid-size sedan with aggressive styling and a Dodge badge? On the surface, it feels like stealing. But once you drive one for a few months, you realize the Avenger's biggest trick is how fast it turns your savings into repair bills. The transmission is the first red flag. Instead of being a reliable workhorse, many Avenger gearboxes develop slipping, hard jerks, or total failure well before 100,000 miles. Imagine scraping together $2,500 to buy the car, only to be quoted $3,000 for a transmission rebuild. For countless owners, that's the end of the road. The Avenger gets junked or sold at auction, and that's just the beginning. The suspension feels like it was built with a stopwatch running. Weak struts, failing control arms, and premature bushing wear give the car a sloppy, unstable ride, while chewing through tires faster than your budget can keep up. Add in electrical headaches, power windows that quit at random, sensors that throw false codes, lights that flicker without reason, and you've got a car that frustrates more than it functions. Look through vehicle histories and a pattern emerges. The same cars bouncing from shop to shop, with repeat drivetrain and suspension fixes logged within just a few years. Dealers know the score, which is why trade-in offers are laughable. Sometimes a few $100, barely above scrap. They'd rather pass than take on a car with a reputation this toxic. So yes, the Avenger's sticker price is low, but ask yourself, is it really a bargain if every repair invoice makes you question why you bought it in the first place? For many Americans, the answer was a painful no. And while the Avenger shows how a bargain bin sedan can quietly bleed owners dry, the next car proves that even a well-known midsize from a respected brand can collapse under the weight of its own flawed engine design. Number 1. Hyundai Sonata 2.4 GDI. The Hyundai Sonata was supposed to be the budget-friendly alternative to the Camry and Accord. Sharp styling, roomy interior, good fuel economy, and an unbeatable price tag. That's why you see them everywhere on American roads. But beneath that appeal lies one of the most catastrophic engine problems in recent US car history, the 2.4-liter GDI. For thousands of families, the nightmare starts the same way. A faint knocking sound, oil disappearing faster than expected. Then, without warning, the engine seizes, sometimes on the highway, sometimes in the middle of a school run. Imagine buying a car to save money, only to face a $4,000 to $6,000 engine replacement before you've even paid it off. The root issue is premature bearing wear and oil starvation. In plain English, the engine can literally eat itself alive. And the kicker? Replacement engines haven't always solved the problem, leading to repeat failures. Lawsuits and recalls followed, but for many American owners, the damage was already financial and emotional. Even if the engine holds, ownership isn't cheap. Browse service records and you'll see a trail of complaints. Excessive oil consumption, transmissions with jerky shifts, electronics that don't age well. It's why dealers often offer insulting trade-in values, knowing full well that buyers are hesitant to gamble on a Sonata with this reputation. Depreciation reflects the stigma. While a comparable Camry or Accord still commands strong resale after 5 years, Sonatas with the 2.4 GDI are practically given away on used lots. Bargain hunters may think they're getting a deal, but more often than not, they're inheriting someone else's headache. The Sonata is living proof of a painful truth. Sometimes the cheapest option ends up being the costliest mistake. So what's the lesson here? A rock-bottom sticker price doesn't always mean you're getting ahead. In fact, these 6 cars prove the opposite. Sometimes the deal of a lifetime ends up draining your savings account one repair at a time. Engines that seize, transmissions that give up early, electrical quirks that never seem to end. Is a cheap entry price really worth that kind of stress? That's why smart shoppers in the US dig deeper than the price on the windshield. They ask about service history, recall campaigns, and trade-in values. They check Carfax, they talk to trusted mechanics, and most importantly, they think about the true cost of ownership, not just the upfront deal. But I want to know about you. Have you ever bought a car that seemed like a steal only to watch it turn into a money pit? Or maybe you avoided one of these traps just in time. Drop your story in the comments. You might save another driver thousands of dollars. And if this list opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more breakdowns of America's most deceptive deals. Share this video with a friend or family member who's car shopping right now. It could be the warning they need before making a costly mistake.